Recently, I've been looking to automate my YouTube posts to Twitter since I've been doing it manually for the past couple of months. Now, there are a few different automation tools, but I'm most familiar with Power Automate, which is a Microsoft product. But the problem with Power Automate, it doesn't have the option to add a high resolution thumbnail to the posts. So the posts come out like looking not great and not visually appealing. So I started to look around for another automation tool and I came across this app called Zapier. Now Zapier is just like Power Automate, but it has a couple other options which makes it a little bit more functionable than Power Automate. So in this video, we're gonna go over Power Automate because I do think it's such a good low-code automation tool. Then we're gonna dive a little bit into Zapier and talk about the differences between Power Automate and Zapier. And then finally, we're gonna build this automation from YouTube to Twitter in Zapier because I think it's better. If you're new here, my name is Liz. I'm a data science manager at Intel, but in my free time, I like to automate things. I like to film videos on books and planning and business. So if you're into that, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, let's jump into it. Power Automate is a really good automation tool. It works really well because it's a Microsoft product. So if you're using other Microsoft products like Outlook or Microsoft Teams or SharePoint, it's gonna work seamlessly with what you're doing. Okay, so let's take a look on the computer what it looks like. So you're gonna go to Power Automate, just search it in Google. You're gonna click the first link, it should look something like this, and then you're gonna need to sign in. So once you sign in, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, but you'll see that if you scroll down, they have some options here. So they're like save Outlook email attachments to your OneDrive. So you can automate stuff where you get an attachment, somebody sends you a document and it could automatically save that to your drive so you don't have to drag and drop it places. You can also save stuff in Google. It's not just Microsoft. You can use it in a lot of different options. They're called connectors. So you can use a YouTube connector, you can use a Twitter connector, but what they are called are flows. So if we look at the screen here, you can see my flows right here. So if we click that, this one, I don't have it running right now because I think Zapier's better, but let's take a look at it. So if you click here, this is what your flow looks like. You can see some of my tests failed because I was trying to make it work the way that Zapier was making it work. But if we go into edit, this is what everyone talks about as a flow. So when I upload a video, post a tweet, if you click within here, you can see there's no additional steps because I already signed in. If you didn't sign into YouTube, once you click this, then it'll make you sign in. So it's super easy. And then all you have to do is say, new video's up. You can put whatever you want here. And then you can use dynamic content to grab the video title and the video link and paste it into the tweet text. So it's very cool stuff. And then you can test it. And there's lots of other stuff. But I use this at work day to day. So I'm very familiar with Power Automate because that's how I automate my work stuff. So I wanted to test it with this and it worked well. It just wasn't fantastic. So you can see this is what it pops out. New videos up, it put the title and it added the link. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. Okay, it looks good, but I like it with a full thumbnail, high resolution thumbnail, and then just the link above. And that's what I could not figure out with Power Automate. Now, Zapier is almost the exact same thing, except for it's not a Microsoft product, but it works exactly the same. But instead of flows, they actually call them zaps. That is the only difference. So it's kind of confusing and the initial setup is a little different, but we'll take a look at it. So you don't actually need a Microsoft account for this. So when you do the Power Automate, you need a Microsoft Outlook account of some sort in order to use it. Here you need to sign up. You just sign in. You can use up to, I think, 5 zaps for free. So you can't do a lot with it without paying, but you can see it's almost the same exact stuff. See, it save new Gmail attachments to Google Drive, tweet new videos to YouTube channels, stuff like that. So we're gonna try this one in a minute here, but let's take a look. Once you have your zaps, once you make them, it's the same thing. They're like flows. I have 2 that are on right now, but this is the one that we're going to create in a little bit. But you can see it's very similar, and then once I click it, you'll see it looks almost identical. See how it looks kind of like flows, and you can come in here and edit. It's like almost the exact same thing where you sign into YouTube, There's a little bit more steps on this one, but it's just as user-friendly. Now you can see it kind of comes out better. See how this has a nice big picture thumbnail, and then you have the nice link above. I just think it looks a lot better than just having that weird thing. Also, it looks better on your phone, which is mostly what people are gonna be on when they're using Twitter. Okay, so let's take a look at how we build that Zap. Basically, it's one of the first ones that comes up when you log into Zapier. So you're gonna click it, and then you have to walk through these steps. So you need to sign into your YouTube channel. So you can go, it says change for me because I already signed in. And then the event, it will already have this populated, but you can do other events if you want. And then you also need to, when you do this, you need to actually put your YouTube account in here. So it's say YouTube account, and you need to connect your account. And then what you need to do is add this channel ID, which you can get by just going to your channel and looking for that little number, and paste it right here. Put channel / and then add that number in there, and that will know which account to look for when there's a new video. And then press continue. And then we're gonna test the trigger. So you can test it on a past video, which is very cool because we didn't actually run it, but it will run it to your Twitter. So make sure to delete it. So I did this on Christmas when probably no one was on Twitter in the morning. And this is what it shows up. This is all the data that came into it. So then we'll press continue. So YouTube setup. Then you go down here, we're doing Twitter, obviously, and then we're gonna do create a tweet as the event. Press continue, make sure to sign into your Twitter account. You can choose your account. I already have that set up. Now this is the important part because this has dynamic content. So I actually wanna change this to a film emoji because I didn't like the editing emoji. So I put new videos out, and then how you get this like dynamic content is it says insert data, and you can show all options and scroll through here and see what you like. Way more options than what Power Automate has. It's actually substantially different. So I went and grabbed the first one, which is title, and then I grabbed the link, which is the second one, which is the link. The important one is in the image, right? So down here, show all options, you go down to thumbnails max res URL. That is a .jpeg file. So if you put that in the media, it will grab your highest resolution of your thumbnail and put it as the image of the tweet, which is the best thing that this thing has. Is I'm like, finally, because I used to have to download the thumbnail and attach it to my tweet, and now I don't have to do that. You can shorten your URL, that's what I did. Press continue, and then you just test it. So you test it, and this will actually send it to your Twitter, and then you can see what it looks like. Delete it if you want, if you don't want. I'm gonna skip the test because I already know it works. And then I'm gonna publish, and then you're basically done once it goes live. So now it's already ready. And what's cool is it shows back up on here. It says last edit was just now, and as long as the Zap is turned on, it will work automatically. So you can be in bed, and when you schedule your YouTube channel or your YouTube video, it will come out and then just be announced on your Twitter while you're sleeping. Like I slept in till like 9 today, and then I went on my phone and was like, oh, it marketed it to Twitter. It's just like so cool. Now you can see the advantages of using these low code tools. You can see we didn't use any code. We just were block coding, adding a couple things, talking about dynamic content, that kind of stuff. It's nothing crazy, anyone can do it. But if you're interested in seeing other low code stuff, I will link up here, web scraping. I talked about it, doing it with Python and also with low code Power Automate. So feel free to check that out. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.